What's up guys? Today I want to talk about my top foundations currently in rotation in my daily makeup routine. I think these could be year-round foundations, but I'd have to be honest, I've most recently started using them as the weather's gotten really hot. So these have been tested and approved for combo skin in super hot weather. And I have a little something for everyone, every mood, whether you're looking for lighter, more natural coverage, satin dewy finish, full matte coverage, powder, liquid, you name it, we got something for everyone. So let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, first let's start with the newest obsession. This falls on the lighter coverage, more natural looking end of the spectrum. This is from Believe Beauty. It's their Skin Finish Foundation. This shocked me because not only it has kind of a thicker lotiony texture, provides really beautiful buildable pigment. It says medium to full coverage, but I would say it's a pretty solid, strong medium. I still notice it leaving like my darkest hyperpigmentation showing through a little bit. So strong medium, not totally full. But it performs like a high-end foundation in terms of coverage, longevity, how natural it looks on the skin, but it's $5. Like, I was blown away. I have a full video on this. The brand sent me this, as well as a little something from kind of the whole collection to create a full face. So you can go check out that video if you want. But the one thing that I kind of haven't put down since I got it is this foundation. And mine, for reference, is the shade Soft Beige. The next foundation is actually super similar to the Believe Beauty. It's what I reach for when I want this kind of coverage and this kind of satiny, dewy finish, but I need some serious SPF. That is the Lancome UV Expert Mineral CC Cream. And don't be fooled by them calling it a CC cream. This gives some serious coverage. It's actually what I'm wearing today. It has a thicker lotiony texture, kind of like a sunscreen. I mean, I would really call this like half sunscreen, half foundation because of how much coverage it provides, and yet it has that SPF of 50. Because it's a sunscreen, it does leave my skin a lot glowier than the Believe Beauty, so often I'll find I do have to set this with a powder, or I have been reaching for my Huda Beauty Resting Boss Face spray, which, although overwhelmingly scented, if you can handle it, this, I have never really noticed a difference with setting sprays. This is the exception to that rule because it truly does mattify and like hold your face in place. But oh man, that scent, you just have to get over that scent. Anywho, back to the CC cream. This is what I'll reach for when I want a more evened out complexion, a slightly glowy, dewy finish, but also that sun protection. Like I wore this when I went to Six Flags. It's a theme park here around the Dallas, Texas area, and I was there for hours in the hot summer heat, and I set it with this Huda Beauty face mist and it didn't budge at all. I was, dabbing my face where I got oily / downright sweaty because it was so hot, and this did not budge throughout the day. Love it. Now I want to move into a foundation that gives a little bit more coverage. This I would say is more of a full coverage as opposed to strong medium. It's the Smashbox Studio Skin 12-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation, and this has a satin finish bordering on matte. It's definitely like a subtle glow, but nowhere near as glowy as the Believe Beauty or the Lancome CC Cream. And as someone with combo skin, when I saw hydrating on this label, I thought this would not be the foundation for me, but I find that it is the right kind of hydration, right? It's oil-free, and yet I still find that it gives my skin the moisture it needs to keep it feeling even throughout the day. Otherwise, if you have like a very drying foundation that pulls the moisture out of your skin will then produce excess oil and then break your foundation up, ironically enough. So this, I feel, gives you that demi-matte finish, but it still keeps your skin hydrated so it stays in place all day. The next pick is a full-on, I find a pretty matte foundation, sometimes leans on the satiny side, and is the most full coverage of everything I'm going to talk about here today. This is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear. This has an SPF of 15 as well, and the shade I am in is 330 Neutral. I actually mentioned this in, if not the last one, then 2 favorites videos because I've been loving it so much. It's buildable, medium to full coverage, still looks very natural on the skin though, but it totally covers up any sort of discoloration, hyperpigmentation you might be working with, and it lasts all day so beautifully. Okay, so those are the liquids, but what if you're not a liquid foundation kind of person, right? Especially in the summer months, I love a good powder because it ensures no excess oil or moisture, no makeup breakdown. It's just the safest way, I think, to avoid an oil slick in the center of your face. So I have 2 options. The first is MAC's Studio Fix. Mine is in the shade NC25. This is very buildable. I mean, I wouldn't say it's as full coverage as like the Teint Idole, but it's shockingly buildable for a powder foundation in my opinion. And you can build it without it looking too cakey or heavy or powdery. It's like it just melts into your skin. I mean, you do have to have well moisturized. You can't just put it on like dry skin. You have to have well moisturized, prepped and primed skin for this. But once you do, it just like melts in and looks like second skin, giving you that full coverage and make sure that you don't experience excess shine throughout the day. I also sometimes use this as a setting powder. It gives a little bit of extra coverage if you use it lightly, but like today, I am actually wearing it over the Lancome CC Cream because I felt like I, especially in front of the lights here, got a little bit too shiny down my T-zone. So use this to mattify that up and just add a little bit of extra coverage and lasting power. And then if a matte finish isn't your thing, I do have a more radiant finish option for you. This is the IT Cosmetics Celebration Foundation Illumination. It basically does exactly everything that MAC Studio Fix does, but has a slight pearlescent radiance to it. Not to the extent where you look like you're wearing highlighter all over your face, not by any means, but just like you have a truly lit from within look to you. The texture is super buttery. It builds just like that MAC Studio Fix foundation does, but it just has a slight luminescence to it that really brings your complexion to life if you're having one of those kind of dull skin days. It's just so beautiful on the skin. However, if I am using one of these to set, I will always choose the Studio Fix just because I tend to set in my under eye area, and really layering this up in that under eye area can get a little funky. I mean, you know, it has a shimmer to it, so I tend to go lighter in the under eye area and then heavier everywhere else. So those are my two powder foundation picks. Probably nothing new. I did a whole powder foundation roundup video where these were in my top. So if you, like me, love a good powder, go check that video out. Otherwise, those are all my foundation picks currently. I would love to hear yours down in the comments below. Let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.